Good. Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of Looking for Inspiration with hij0. If you guys don't know already, I have a bunch of these episodes out on Spotify. Those ones are specifically just focused on music. But in this one, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things. I got a whole bunch of different subjects that we're going to go through. What has been inspiring me art-wise, what has been inspiring me, like different people that have been inspiring me, music, and then a bunch of extras. Also, if you guys don't know yet, I mean, this is all pre-recorded, but I am going to be in the comment section in the description down below, answering any questions that you guys might have, and just interacting with you guys. I can't live stream because my internet's not good enough, but that being said, guys, I'm really happy you're here, and I'm just going to wait a few more minutes, and then we're going to get right into it, okay? Also, sorry for the noise. If you guys live here in Vancouver, you know that there's been this massive heat wave, and my room basically becomes unbearable. I'll become a sweaty mess during this live stream if I don't have it on. So I put it on the lowest setting possible, and I'm going to be adjusting the microphone as we go to be sure I can get like good enough levels for this. So I'm going to wait a few more minutes till people pour in, till some more people come in, and then I'm going to get started. In the meantime, I'm going to be in the comment section down below. If you guys have anything to say, I'll say hi. I'm going to put a little timer on. So in about 5 minutes, I'm going to get into it. First, we're going to start off with, let's look. So some art that's been inspiring me. We'll start down about 5 minutes. While we're waiting for that to happen, I just finished another, so this would be So I'm recording this on the Tuesday and a little bit before that. So on when this goes live tomorrow. Oh yeah, so yeah, I finished another song on Tuesday, and I would have started another song by when this came up, and I think this is my best one yet. And it's the closest so far I think I've been to like the genre that I really enjoy, and that I feel like is something that I can continuously like make, because like right now the sphere I've been kind of going in is like I really enjoy ambient music, like a lot of textures, a lot of like ear candy kind of stuff. But I also really like some beat driven stuff that you can put on the car and drive to and stuff. And I think this one perfectly exemplifies kind of like I'm starting to kind of get the hang of it, and like I just realized I'm wearing this like really old Hollister shirt. Starting to get like the swing of things. And this song kind of has a little bit elements of both. It has like this really nice kind of like drum beat, and it has these hi-hats, and then it has me playing some guitar. This is my old Pooey guitar from when I was in middle school. What was I saying? Yeah, that was the song. And yeah, it kind of mixes both. It has like these really, really nice textures that are in there. So, I mean, hopefully I can get these signed as quick as possible so that I could make like a lot of content for it and show you guys. Because honestly, I want to show you guys all of these songs, but I want to get them signed, and I want to get the proper rollout for them, and I want to make videos for them, like I've been saying in a few of these videos. But yeah, we're just waiting. So 2 more minutes, guys, and then I'm just gonna practice some guitar while we wait. Another kind of thing about me is, like, one thing that always crosses my mind when I'm making music is I wish I was better at, like, my favorite instruments, which currently are the piano, well, the ones that I have at least, a piano and the guitar. And so I've been practicing both pretty heavily. And I mean, before I started making production, even at the beginning, like even until like a month ago, I didn't really know all the keys on the keyboard. But after like practicing a lot and getting it, now I know all of them, and now I've been trying to practice finding all of the things, finding out all the notes on the fretboard. And it's been such a crazy difference. My friend also got me this book. I can't remember if it was for Christmas or I can't remember if it was for Christmas or for my birthday, but he got me this book, and I've read it a few times already, and it's really helped with. I'll just put it in the camera so you guys can see it. Like, the guy who writes this book is really good at writing, and like some parts are dry, obviously, because some parts of music theory are a little dry, but he says it in such a way where it's like you really like it's easy to grasp, it's easy to learn. How to find the notes in a scale, or major scale or minor scale, and he uses like different analogies and acronyms. I'm a really big acronym person, so I learned really quickly with the acronyms of like where to find them and stuff like that. So okay, it looks like we're just about done here. I'm just gonna quickly change this shirt because it's really itchy, and we're gonna get right into it. Alrighty, guys. So I'm just gonna re-explain if there's anybody new in the chat and watching this right now. So just to reiterate, this is pre-recorded. I'm gonna put that in the description down below. My internet's not good enough to actually stream a high-quality video like this one, so this one is pre-recorded. But I'm gonna be in the comments or the description down below answering any questions and just hanging out and talking with you guys while this is going on. So what this is it's called Looking for Inspiration with me. And basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to inspire people who might be either low on motivation or inspiration rather, and try to give them some things to pull inspiration from, because I pull, when I make music or when I work with like art and stuff like that, I pull inspiration from a bunch of different stuff, whether it's my emotions, whether it's art, whether it's I went on a cool walk and I saw a seal or something like that, or it could also be from completely external. So like somebody just working really hard and crushing or killing it on social media, or achieving some amazing things in the music industry or something like that, or a company or brand or YouTuber achieving something that's really cool or inspiring me to do something. So they're split up into, I think, 4 categories. Yeah, currently there's 4 categories. Number 1 is art. Number 2 is people, artists, and group. Number 3 is music, strictly. And number 4 is just extras, stuff that's been motivating me more on the daily-ish basis. So we're going to start off with number 1, which is going to be art. And this can be any type of art, but I'm excluding music because we already have a category for that. So number 1 is recently, well actually a long time ago, my sister messaged me about this thing that was coming to Vancouver. It was called the Van Gogh exhibit. I don't know if you guys heard it. I'm going to put a link in the description down below for you guys to check it out. And I mean, I've always heard, and I'm sure all of us have heard of Van Gogh before, but I've never really, I've seen, I couldn't, if you showed me a picture and asked me who it was, I wouldn't be able to tell you if it was Van Gogh or not. But I was acquainted, but not, I couldn't pick one out, for example, right? So when my sister brought up this opportunity, me and her really both enjoy going to art exhibits, and we're both kind of meditative in that kind of way. And I just wanted to, it looked like a cool experience, it looked like everything was going to be projected onto the walls, it looks kind of cool, so I'm like, interest-based, I was mildly interested. I would still want to go because it's like an experience, cool chance to see art, and it was like the first kind of event that I've went to in like a long time, like a big event that I've went to. So we decided to buy the tickets, and then I invited both my roommates, Mark, Jack, to come with me, and yeah, my sister came as well, obviously. And so we went there, and then when you first walk in, there are these the doors, and then inside of there's like these rows with these descriptions, and the descriptions go by time. So when he just started all the way till to when he passed away, or after his art, and just reading through those things and seeing what his struggle went through, it kind of reminded me of the artist struggle, or just the startup struggle nowadays, and how it's like, I know a lot of people think that the things that we're going through are really unique to us, and a lot of times they are, but in the struggle like this, I mean, people have been struggling with breaking new grounds and discovering their art and discovering themselves for since the beginning of time, right? I mean, he had it obviously a little bit more rough than we do, because we live in a world that's, I would say, definitely more open than back then to new art, to new experiences and stuff like that. But yeah, so just reading the things that he's gone through, and the struggles they had to do, and how nobody appreciated his art, and people thought his art was basic and not, they couldn't see the beauty of it. And unfortunately, that's a lot of times what happens with a lot of pieces of art, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's, I don't know, anything with art. It takes some time for people to truly appreciate it, and he loved, it seemed like he loved what he was doing. I don't know how you could make something like that without loving it. And yeah, I just found a lot of, and so going back to the exhibit, sorry, I'm rambling here, walking through it and seeing so he did so in the exhibit they showed a lot of portraits of like landscapes, and almost looked like, and what I imagined when I was looking at these is like you're literally seeing into the past through his perspective, because he painted a lot of landscapes, a lot of people, a lot of what would you call that, natural art? Yeah. So it's like you're looking into his world, how he saw the world, his interpretation of the world, and that was just it was kind of weird, and kind of weird in like a good way, and it kind of made me emotional, because it's like this person who worked so hard and never was able to see other people appreciate his art. And I remember, I think one of the stories was he needed money really badly or something like that, and so he brought literally like a bucket, like, you know, a wheelbarrow full of his paintings to a creditor, and they wouldn't take it, and those paintings are now like hundreds of millions of dollars. And he never really got a chance to reap any benefits from his art. And yeah, I mean, that could be kind of discouraging to some people, but I think it's kind of, I mean, for him, obviously it wasn't the best. But I think for us, and I think especially for me, one of the things I got motivation from is that, like, the struggle has always been there for people who are trying to break new ground and who are trying to follow and do something that they find enjoyable or that they love. And it's never been easy to do what you want. And it's never been easy to break new ground and to discover yourself, and, I mean, frankly, push other people out of the industry who are trying to, like, gatekeep, for example, because they want to keep the status quo, right? But yeah, so I got a lot of inspiration from that, just seeing that the struggle was the same as it is now in the artist realm, by the way, as it was back then for breaking new ground. So that was number one in the art. Number two is actually this really, really cool artist who actually did art for one of my favorite artists. His name is Novo Amor. That's a music artist. On his last album, her name is, pardon me if I mispronounce this, Tileke Schwartz. Tileke Schwartz. I think she's Dutch. I'm not too sure. But she makes these abstract-ish embroideries, and so she hand embroiders all of these paintings. And I mean, my mom put it really well when I showed her some of the pictures. She's like, how is this art? And so I tried to spend some time explaining it to her, where it's just like I'm gonna put some on the screen for you guys to see, because it kind of almost looks messy. But like if the more time you look at it, the more you kind of start to unravel like different parts and different pieces of her art. And the titles are, I think, really, really important to knocking down exactly what she was trying to say with all of them. See, I'm just going to quickly look one up to give you guys an example. I'll put it up on the screen right now, too. Oh. Bad gateway. How about no? And I looked into acquiring one of these pieces, but it's a little out of my budget right now, and so I had to politely decline. It's actually a lot out of my budget, but I would say if I had the money, I would totally buy one. They're just, I can see she puts so much work into these, and it takes so much time to make even one of them, that, I mean, I can totally understand. Like this, one of my favorites is called Stay 2020. I'll put up on the screen for you guys right now if I can get a good picture. And so the more you look at it, the more you start to unravel the meaning of it. And I think it's completely up to every person to make their own interpretation about it. And I think that's what I love the most about it, is like everybody looks at this and sees something different. And almost like that, I find it's very similar with music, or with how you're trying to represent yourself. As like you can try to represent yourself, and you can try to say one thing, and other people can interpret it a completely different way. And I think that's nice, and I think that's beautiful. Yeah, this is Lobster Bottle Revenge. There's some weird things in this one. This is one of my favorites. The one that Novo Amor has for his album, I think, is one of the best ones. I love the hand on that one. I'll put that one up on screen as well. Bye Bye July. This one's nice. I don't know. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I really enjoy all of these. I think they're really pretty, and I love abstract-ish art like this. These are really nice. Eventually, I'm gonna own one of these for sure, because they're just really cool. That's awesome. Cool. Anyway, guys, so that's all of the artists I have for this month. And just to kind of reminder for if there's anybody new in here, so there's 4 different categories that we're going to go through. We just went through the art category. We looked at, one of the things was the Van Gogh exhibit that was inspiring me, and then Tilika Schwartz. And next is going to be a people, artist, or groups. So we're going to get into that in just a sec here. I'm going to drink some water. Check the camera. All right, 20 minutes. Cool. And also another reminder, if there's anybody new in here, I actually do a podcast audio only version of this on Spotify every Monday. Those ones are specifically just music, and I do it on a weekly basis. It's called same thing as this podcast, Looking for Inspiration. But yeah, with that being said, guys, let's get into part 2 of the podcast. So it's going to be people, artists, and groups. So this could be anybody who is doing something cool, or I'm finding motivation from, obviously, or is inspiring me. So we're going to start off with one. His name is Brent Petit. I'm going to put his Instagram right here. And so if you haven't heard of him, well, okay, let me rewind a little bit more. So for those of you who don't know, I joined Cosmic Academy. I think it's almost about a year ago, and I started to get to know all these people inside of there, and like there's so many incredible people in there who are just so willing to help and enjoy, and there's so many people just grinding and doing what they love and working really hard. And one of the people I wanted to highlight was Brent Petit, because he actually spent most of this year, I don't know if he's back yet, in Germany, as he is a part of the Air Force. And so he's working on music, and he's a part of the Air Force. I don't know what he does in the Air Force, but I don't think anything in the Army is really easy. Maybe that's an assumption, but he's been working his ass off, working really, really hard, making music and doing this at the same time. And there's a lot of other people in Cosmic Academy. These just happen to be the people I know more than anybody else. There's like doctors and there's lawyers who have full-time jobs and are making music and are like doing their social media and everything else. And that kind of puts into perspective to me. It's like, if these people have time to do everything, I definitely should have time to finish all the things that I need, because I have a lot of time on my hands. And I mean, not only is his music really, really good, but that part itself acts as a real inspiration for me to be like, okay, well, whenever that voice in your head tells you, is like, okay, well, maybe you should take another rest. Maybe you should, you don't need to really finish that today. You can finish it tomorrow. It kind of reminds me of like, hey, like these people, they're working their asses off. You need to be working your ass off as well. And tomorrow, if you always say tomorrow, tomorrow never comes. And I think that's a big difference of why I'm sitting here in this room in Vancouver doing this podcast with you guys. As I mentioned a whole bunch of different times in a bunch of different episodes, it's just when you stop saying tomorrow and start saying, I'm going to do it right now, everything changes for you. And I think he's a great encapsulation of that. That being said, we'll move on to the next one. And this one is for you, Zachary. I don't know if you're in here or not, but I am going to make sure I cut a little snippet out of this and I send this one to you. So Zachary Fremont. What to say about Zachary Fremont? I know Andrew Pearson probably has something to say about this as well, but he released a song, I can't remember when, it's called Womp Womp, and he hasn't released a song since, and we're all waiting for another song to come from him. But Fremont is how I'm going to call him. He's been an inspiration this month because of the work that he's been doing with Cosmic Academy and on his own social media. he has mastered this like really catchy, fast, like a snappy form of like micro content. Like on his IG story, he used to do this thing where he does what's it called, heads or tails, and he flips random things and people vote. And I'm like, that's genius. That's brilliant, right? Because you get people interacting with with the social media, and it's always, it's essentially the same thing over and over again, but you just change the object so it's different, and it's like almost limitless. You can flip anything, right? And he's also been doing a lot of really, I think, awesome work on Cosmic Academy, especially on their TikTok, which just launched this month. I'll put the link in the description below. Yeah, he's social media master. I'm gonna drink some more water. Oh, yeah. Shout out to you, Zachary. You're killing it. I'm gonna put his Instagram in here as well for you guys to check out. And so, okay, moving on from that onto the more music side of it. The number 3 on the people, artists, and groups, so part 2, is actually So Sus. And I met So Sus a long time ago in front of a nightclub. I didn't really know who he was at the time because I didn't live in Vancouver at the time. But just seeing somebody locally be nominated for a Juno for one of his tracks, the track is incredible, and it must be such an unreal feeling. Like, for anybody who's watching this, if they're an artist, especially here in Vancouver or in Canada or anywhere for that matter, and you get nominated for a Juno, it's like, it must be kind of like surreal. Even if you don't win it, just getting like nominated must be such a cool feeling. It's like getting nominated for a Grammy, I think. I mean, obviously Grammys, I think, are probably a bit bigger, but that's really cool. That's like a national, not a national endorsement. Maybe it's a national endorsement, but like national recognition of like, you've got good music. I think that's pretty cool. I think we can all agree that we'd all would love a Juno or a Grammy. So I don't really talk to So Sus or anything like that, but regardless, I'm proud of him. I think that's an incredible achievement, and his music is really, really, really good. And I think he also released a song on the compilation album for Bitbird called Create Together. I think so. Yes, he definitely did. So when that comes out, check that out as well. And so the last one on the second part of the people, artists, and group is one of my favorite YouTubers, and has been one of my favorite YouTubers, probably top 3 for me at least, is Seek Discomfort, or Yes Theory. Seek Discomfort is their clothing line, but yeah, Yes Theory has made some of the most, I think, not only their cinematography is incredible, their storytelling is amazing, and they always have this really hopeful tone to all of their episodes. And it acts like an inspiration for me because it teaches me that, and I put a little footnote in my little notes here, a reminder to enjoy life even when it's hard to enjoy. Meaning, sometimes it's really hard to enjoy especially when we're all quarantined up and we can't really go anywhere, and it's really hard to enjoy anything because you can't really go outside. And like, I remember before quarantine, I think I used to be a really, really social person. I would like talk to people, but now that I've been like most of the time just kept in my room and there's been quarantine going on, I've just become more and more like isolationist. Yeah. And seeing their videos has reminded me that it is really important to get out there and to talk to people. And some of the craziest experience happens when you just move outside of your comfort zone. And that's one thing I want to do for the rest of my life, is just, obviously measure the pros and cons of different situations, but going outside of your comfort zone is, when it's safe to do so, of course, is, I think, one of the most important things we can do to grow as people and as artists and everything else. Is like, sometimes you might try to make a song, or especially nowadays, a lot of artists are going outside what they're usually meant to do. Like, Skrillex, way back when, was making hard dubstep, and then he started making house, and then he kind of bounces between it, and the people who love his music just love him and love him for what he does, right? And a lot of cool experiences on the other side of what makes you truly afraid. Like I remember I've always wanted to do skydiving, and last year I was really fortunate to be able to get the opportunity to go skydiving, and I realized like the whole experience is pretty scary, but when you're flying up, it's terrifying. And you're just thinking in your head, and like in a few minutes I'm going to be jumping out of this plane in a parachute at 12,000 feet, and like everything in your body is telling you no, but after you get onto the lip of the plane and you see 12,000 feet down, you just jump. And I'm not kidding. It might seem absolutely crazy to some people, but after you jump, it is the most relaxing thing ever. At least for me. And that kind of, it was a really cool moment for me, because it's like at the point of maximum fear. I think Will Smith said this, at the point of maximum fear is calm. On the other side of that, I think. Woo. But yeah, so they're just encouraging me reminding me to enjoy life and to be open to new opportunities and new chances and new interactions with people. So yeah, that was the ending of part 2, and number 3 is just 4 different artists and some songs. I'm just gonna check the time here. Nice. We're doing pretty good. So yeah, number 3 is gonna be music. So the first one on the list is, of course, if you guys know me at all, hij0's Baby You Okay album. And there's a bunch of different songs in here that really, really spoke to me, but I'm going to go through a few of them that I really enjoy and that I think you guys should check out and that have really been inspiring me. Alrighty, so I've got a few songs here loaded up on my phone, and so I would strongly suggest, if you have the time, to go through every single song and just listen to it from top to bottom with no skips or anything like that, and just kind of try to feel the emotion of every single track and try to kind of paint the picture in your head of what he was feeling when he made this album. But there's a few songs that I want to highlight that I specifically connected with quite a bit. And so the first one is, the first song of the whole album is I Am Thinking of You. On that note, I Am Thinking of You and the last song of the album, One More Day, I think have the same melody. And it really seems like, for me, after I listened to the whole thing, it just seems like the chapter opens, the book opens with this. And this chapter, that last song, closes it. And kind of like this is another chapter in his life that's open and now closed, and now he's moving on to the next chapter of his life, which I thought was kind of poetic. And I think I read that, I saw in an interview that he was talking about, he's like, that was his intention with starting the album and ending the album with a similar melody. Another song is The Great Clown Pagliacci. And like, if you listen to the song, if you actually listen to what he's saying, like, he goes to the doctor, the clown goes to the doctor. Well, actually, I'm going to let you guys listen to it, but from what I got from it is, I mean, these people, these artists that we idolize and these people that we look up to, they're human beings as well, and they have feelings and they have struggles of their own, and I think it's really hard to see that when they're up on stage and they're singing your favorite song, and you're just like yelling and screaming and stuff like that. But when I'm trying to do more is just to, I know it's kind of hard because they're the people who you look up to for music or art or something like that, and I think this sounds weird, but I think this is what happens to everybody. It's like it's kind of hard to think of them as humans, because they're like these people who have accomplished what you wish to accomplish, or they make the they make the songs that highlight different portions of your life, and you listen to a song and you remember this, and it's hard to put yourself in the position where it's like these people are actually humans who live lives and who have struggles of their own and have all these other things that they struggle with, and that sometimes they don't feel good. They might be sad, or they might have things going on in their life. I'm just gonna be sure the microphone is okay. Microphone's good. They have things going on in their life, and like they still get up on that stage and they still perform and they still put their heart into it. And I think that's what that song exemplifies. Sometimes even when you have thousands of people cheering your name and singing your songs, sometimes you feel the most alone. And I mean, I haven't had a feeling like that, but I sometimes feel more alone when I'm with people than when I'm alone, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so that's what that song means for me. It's one of my favorites. Make This Moment Last. The vocal on this one, Sanjolo's angelic-like voice, I think perfectly fits with the song. And yeah, I think it highlights really cool things where it's like some moments in life are so sweet and so memorable that you just want them to last forever. But what I thought is like what makes certain moments really memorable is that they're sparse and they don't come around very often. Sorry, my notes just disappeared. Oh, cool. And that's what makes certain moments so beautiful and so memorable. Like the skydiving thing, I'm never gonna forget that. Obviously, I made a video about it, so I'm never actually gonna be able to forget it. But what lives inside of me is the feeling, and that's something I'm trying to do more. It's like it's cool to take pictures of different moments, but sometimes I just want to feel it out and remember it with the emotion of the moment, like a beautiful sunset or skydiving or bungee jumping or doing something cool or making a cool song. It's the emotion that makes it last for me. And then, yeah, so the rest of the songs are really, really good. I think you should check out all of them if you guys haven't had a chance yet. That's Baby You Okay by Sanjolo. And I'm running out of water. So we're going to go through all of these. I'm going to check what our time is. Alrighty, so let's go on to the next one. And this one's Porter Robinson's, one of my foundational artists, Nurture. Boom, boom, boom. Nurture. This one's another, like, front to back listen, if you guys haven't had a chance. His storytelling, Porter Robinson's storytelling with music, is incredible. But I'm going to highlight a few of my favorites from this album for you guys to check out that have really been inspiring me. So, Wind Tempos, Musician, Dull Scythe, Mirror, Blossom is so beautiful. And one song that's been kind of growing on me is Unfold by Porter Robinson and Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs. Like, obviously I can't play any of those on the stream right now, or else I'll just get taken down. But yeah, please check them out. Wind Tempos is probably the one I've listened to the most. It adds two really interesting things. It has like this really electronic-y part, and it has this really beautiful ending outro section of just beautiful emotional pianos that just, like, the beginning part is like this unknown, and the ending part is this comforting feeling of like, it's gonna be okay, it's difficult, but it's gonna be okay. And then same thing with Blossom. It's a very similar feeling. It just the song makes me feel like warm, embraced, and just all around an incredible track, an incredible album. And I mean, I've been waiting a long time for Porter Robinson to release an album, but I'm really happy it's here. If you guys haven't had a chance, that's Nurture by Porter Robinson. And then another song by, well, actually, I think this is the first one I've mentioned on this list. This is actually a Vancouver-based artist. His name is On Planets. I believe he's Vancouver-based. And I recently discovered a track on a playlist. It's called From No Heights with Hans. And again, I can't play this on the stream, but listen to this, guys. It almost feels like it makes me feel like, do you guys see that the what was it, the skydiving thing, the Red Bull, the one where he goes really, really high up almost into space and he jumps down? Like, if I wanted something that was going to soundtrack that, like a song that I was going to listen to as I fell, I think it would probably be this one, because it just makes me feel like floaty, and it's comforting at the same time, and the vocals and the piano and the percussion and the bass and everything just kind of works so harmoniously, like almost like a symphony, like an orchestra. And I just feel like every single time I listen to the song, I'm just like floating and like slowly falling, maybe to my death, maybe not, but I think it's just like very like grand and floaty, and yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm just being ambiguous, but yeah, that's one of my favorites, if not my favorite right now, just for the good vibes. And the last one, I think this one's been out for a while, and my sister actually showed it to me, and I looked it up. And one of my favorite things to do with new songs I discover is to go into YouTube and look for these slowed, reverbed, or pitched versions of the songs, because I like, especially when the song's really emotional. Sometimes when it's a little bit slowed and a little bit reverbed, it just hits that teensy little bit. That's a little Salt Bay extra spice to it. And I think that was done with Pluto Projectors by Rex Orange County. This probably the best outro I've ever heard in any song ever, or at least top 10, top 3, top 5. No, actually, let's go top 10. I don't know where it's stacked. I might make a list in one of these one time, but yeah, that's like, the whole song is beautiful, but that ending part, just incredible. If you guys haven't heard that ending part, especially slowed and reverbed with like some nice headphones and like a really, really vibey scenario, there's nothing that quite hits like that outro. And it definitely got me to a little bit of tears a few times. And just, yeah, I mean, it would have been incredible to be in the room when he made that. Sorry, I don't know if he actually did, if he did make it or if he didn't make it. For me, it doesn't really matter. The song is absolutely beautiful, and that outro, as I keep on explaining, is probably the best outro I've ever heard in a song, bar none. And so, guys, that's the third part of the Looking for Inspiration podcast. First, we went over art, which was Van Gogh exhibit, Tilika Schwartz. All these links are going to be in the description down below if you guys want to check them out afterwards. People, artists, and groups, that was part 2. And that was Brent Petit, and that was for his dedication. Zachary Fremont for his social media wizardry. Number 3 was So Sus for being nominated for a Juno. Just really, really cool to see a local person reach for the stars like that and really kind of go for it. And then the number 4 on section 2 was Yes Theory and Seeking Discomfort, reminding me to enjoy life even in quarantine, and to be open to new experiences even when everybody seems to be shut to them. Number 3 was music, and these ones are probably going to be the typical suspects. Gotcha. Santa Hello Baby You Okay, Porter Robinson's Nurture, On Planets, which is a local Vancouver guy, I think, and that song's On Planets. It's called From Heights. And the fourth one is Pluto Projector by Rex Orange County. And so we're going to go into the last section, which is number 4, which is the extras. And these are just a few things that have been motivating me a few things that I have in my studio that have been motivating me. One is my Arteria Keylab 61 Essential. It's an incredible keyboard, and my sister gave it to me for Christmas. And I think this and getting both my guitars up and running again has been an incredible difference in my music. Just being able to be expressive with keys or something like that. And I didn't even know how to play the keyboard when I got it. But learning how to play the keyboard and being able to be expressive and definitely helps me when I'm trying to make that more like ambient kind of stuff. But that's something I would encourage everybody who's making music or doing art. Just sometimes being terrible at something can make great music. Just I know it's something maybe ambiguous to some people, just use your ears, and if it sounds good to you, that's all that matters. And of course, I'm going to show this one. One sec. And if you guys have seen any of my other videos, or if you watch my Wednesday versions, my Wednesday social media, you guys will know exactly what this is. And it's in this really heavy duty case that I bought for it because it's probably one of my more prized possessions and one of my favorite expressive, creative tools, and something I get a lot of inspiration from. It's a cassette player. It has a sidecar mod by Foldy, and yeah, this thing is incredible. It has like, I don't know what's on it right now, so I won't play it, but it has this cool pitching, because I love pitching things. Pitching, pitching, and then speed, and then it has your inputs and outputs and volume. And sometimes I just like to bring this with me and just like record stuff with like a nice mic into the cassette, and then just completely destroy the audio with pitching it down and slowing the format and stuff like that. Pitching the speed here too. Just an all-around incredible thing that's been really helpful with being creative. And that's just something I want to encourage all of you guys to do with, if you're doing music or if you're doing your art. Just like find something that helps you become creative, or helps inspire you to make your art. For me, it's old. Well, I'm gonna start to make a good collection of old gear that has like this really cool texture. It sounds kind of broken. I really love that sound. For another person, it might be this really, really beautiful guitar. And I think, especially when you put yourself in the mindset, it's like we spend money on so many different things, and I'm very guilty of this as well, when we could be investing money into ourselves and into our music, but we spend it in other places. That being said, guys, we've come to the end of the very first video podcast for Looking for Inspiration with hij0. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to leave this on for a little bit more. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to be in the description, comments. That's what it's called, right? Comments below. So I'm going to leave this on for a little bit more, for about, let's say, for like 10 minutes. And then it's going to be the end. So if you guys have anything to say, I'm just going to be putting some cool art on here, some of the pieces from today. Maybe I'm going to put all of the people who I talked about on screen right now. And if you guys have any questions, if you guys just want to chat, or if you guys have any recommendations, some things that have been inspiring you this month, please put it in the comment section down below, and I will take it in for next month. Anyway, we'll wait for the 9 minutes. I'm going to go use the washroom, and I will be right back.
I think I'm dreaming.
Also, guys, if you have any suggestions on how do you think I could make this podcast better, please put that in the description or comments down below. And if you guys have any ideas for videos, also check those in there. Should we do a little, maybe a little sneak peek to some of the music? Actually, the song I just finished right now. Should we? I think we should. Definitely. Okay, yeah, I know which one. So we're gonna listen to the one I just recently finished. I almost never name my tracks until they're gonna go out or until I put them on the pitching pile. So this one's just called Practice 44. And I'm just gonna show you guys the ending little part of the song because it's one of my favorites. So, I'm still gonna be in the description down below, or comments. I keep on saying description. I'm still gonna be in the comments down below. But without further ado, guys, here is the ending of the last track I just finished. I think it probably should be over by now. So what do you guys think? I'm excited for this one. This is one of my favorite. I love the granular textures that I put into the end of the song. And yeah, I'm excited to show you guys the rest of the song. I know that a lot of artists say that a lot of the time, but I'm genuinely really excited to show you guys all the music I've been working on. And actually being able to finish music is such a relief. But yeah, we're down to our last minute, so if you guys have anything else you want to say, please put them in there. And yeah, here we go. Alrighty guys, we're coming to the last 10 seconds. Thank you so much for watching this episode. As I said, I'm going to put the link to the Monday versions of these episodes where I just talk about music that's been inspiring me on a weekly basis. I'll put the link down below for that. If you guys haven't already, consider subscribing and liking this video if you guys think I deserve it. Anyway guys, thank you so much. I really truly appreciate you guys watching these videos. And I will see you in the next one.